We're just friends.
Right, and this is just a trim.
It is, though.
It's totally normal to be friends with your exes.
I'm not friends with any exes. When a relationship's done, that person's dead to me. I burn everything they gave me and erase them from my life.
I just changed my Facebook status.
I'm just here with Ben Beauchemin, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Kim's Convenience, popular show on Netflix. And one of the reasons I like talking about this show on the channel is because it's close to home. It's right 40-minute drive away from me in Toronto. I'm in Niagara Falls. How
Canadian.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Canadian represent. And how is things in Toronto right now for you guys?
It's good. Shooting is definitely a lot different this year. Like, there's so many different COVID precautions and stuff that we've got to abide by. We're getting tested every single week. I think, unfortunately, this year there's going to be a lot less sort of behind the scenes social media content that they're used to putting out, because we're effectively quarantined everyone right until we shoot the scene. So we come out to rehearse and block, and then we shoot right away. So there's no real, like in all the other seasons, we had green rooms where we would all hang out between scenes and stuff like that. It was much more communal. And in this one, because of COVID, it's so much more isolated. So I think that sort of, that there's going to be a lot less of that content, unfortunately. But the show's quality is still really good. And I think we're doing a lot of good work.
So when you... Sorry, despite COVID, yeah, it's insane. So when you're script reading or whenever there's like a gathering, that's all done through stuff like this, like Zoom and Skype and stuff?
Yeah, we've had like all of our script reads are done all through Zoom, and even like our meetings with directors and stuff like that are just all through Zoom, and rehearsals are really, really only if like absolutely necessary, and it's usually the day of. Whereas with past seasons, it would be like you'd get brought in early to do the rehearsals, and you get brought in early to do script reads and stuff, or table reads is what they're called. Yeah.
Table reads. Having this time, has it kind of equaled out when you're learning your memorizing your lines, or has it made it more challenging having the time just at home and it being up to you when you want to rehearse and stuff like that?
To be honest, I don't notice too much of a difference. Like I've been acting for super long time, since I was about like 9 years old. So memorizing lines comes pretty quickly to me. Like it doesn't take all that long, which I'm very fortunate for. But it's weird because our days are so much, because of all the restrictions, we have to shoot everything in less time. So it's forcing everybody to like be really, really on the ball and like really ready for every single scene, and some really, really good work is coming out from it. Like I'm very excited to see what this season looks like. It seems like everybody just like really hit the ground running, so we know all these restrictions are in place and we just have to get it done like really well right away. Mm-hmm.
I'm also super excited to see what happens after season 4. Season 4 just dropped on Netflix, I think, not even a month ago, right?
Yeah, pretty recently, yeah.
Pretty recently. I obviously crushed it in a day, just sat down and that's something that a lot of people are doing now.
Yeah.
Have you crushed any series or found anything new on Netflix or Disney Plus that you didn't know you liked?
Um, I don't normally like binge watch things, like usually, because I feel like I am pretty susceptible to it, and I know that if I do sit down, I could easily watch. Like I remember when Game of Thrones started, like I watched like 6 episodes in a row, and for me, I'm like I don't really want to do that, so like I'll just do like an episode at night. Trying to think, the last show I was like really, really into was Succession. Yeah, and watched that. That was up on Crave, and I really loved that one. And before that, worked through The Sopranos, sort of like every 2 or 3 nights, watched an episode, and then like over time completed it. Yeah.
Do you have a show that if you could work on it, you'd love to work on it? I'm sure every actor has one, and
Mm-hmm.
not everyone wants to say what theirs is, but if you want to, what would that be for you?
Oh man, Succession would be amazing. I also really, really love the show. I think you should leave. Yeah, it's great. It's a sketch comedy show with Tim Robinson. It's like, it's hysterical. That was like that one, and there's this other one called Detroiters that he has are really, really good. And those were like the last two comedies that I like really fell in love with.
People know that this is such a Canadian representy show. I don't even know how to word it, and I don't know if you struggle with that, but if you had to put it in a nutshell, like you probably do all the time, what do you say to people?
Oh, in terms of like the representation and multiculturalism on the show, I'd say it just really feels like Toronto.
Yeah,
Like when
yeah,
you're downtown Toronto and like especially in that area where the store is, like because I've been there, like I played basketball with friends like on the court, like literally next door to it
yeah. I know
many
exactly
weeks.
where you're talking
Yeah,
about too.
exactly.
It's like,
And the show, the casting does a really good job of just it really feels like a convenience store in downtown Toronto. It's like the sort of type of people you'd see. It's not like a lot of TV. It's like everyone's like a perfect model. Everyone's like this beautiful white person, and that's not how it is for this show. It's just people look like real people, and it's like, and I think they do a really, really good job with that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then that's really kind of all I wanted to talk about. But what I
Cool.
usually like to do in my interviews is touch on a little bit of acting and getting into the acting world, because that's something that you did, and like you said, you studied acting for such a long time. And
Mhm.
something about my show is that we're trying to reach a younger audience and kind of
Mhm.
represent chasing your dreams as being something that is real, something that you can
Mhm.
do. What advice would you give for young actors?
Um, honestly, I would say there's no one right way to act, and there's no teacher or coach is going to have like the perfect method or the perfect strategy. Like you really have to like put your own time in and find out what works for you, and whether that's doing a bunch of different classes or just like, I don't know, running scenes with your friends and stuff like that, and just trying to find out what helps you best bring your best performance. And like only you can really determine that. So I think it's really about, don't get stuck with one particular method or one particular like ideology on what acting is or what acting's supposed to be, because everybody's got a different idea about it, and no one 100% sure knows what they're talking about. So you just gotta like try it out and do what works for you. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. And then the
Oh,
last
and don't take rejection personally. That's a big one, because
that's
there's,
something you should learn quick, guys,
yeah.
for sure.
There's way more of that than acceptance for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. But
Mhm.
something that I found when I started acting with rejection was experience and kind of learning from your rejection, and it just kind of it shapes you as an actor quicker
Mhm.
than just getting roles and being born into a family where your dad's Will Smith or something, you know.
Yeah.
But the last,
Although that certainly has its advantages too.
yeah, try to be born in a family where a lot of people are actors.
I think that's actually the probably best advice you could give someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, ultimately. But yeah, good luck with that.
Hmm.
Um, the last thing I do is give you the floor. Is there anything that you want to promote that's your own personal projects?
Um, honestly, no, not really. Like I've just been working on Kim's lately and stuff, and I really hope people check out that show and enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
there's a big audience that hasn't seen Kim's yet, and if you
Mhm.
check out this show, you are in for a treat. And Ben, let me say to you, just from my heart, man, you do a really good job in this show, and
Oh, thanks so much.
uh, that's about it, guys. So if you want, go check out that show streaming on Netflix now. And thank you for watching the video, and thank you for joining me.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Devin.
I'm a Mr. Kim and this is my store. I'm working very hard every day. My wife, Mrs. Kim, is working hard too. With a very happy family.
What?
One day, my daughter Janet is take over store.
I'm not taking over the store.
What's wrong with the store?
Okay, maybe not now, but
I'm not taking over the store ever. Okay?
아이, 참.